Hello, everybody. So today we are going to be talking about scope creep in terms of project management. Okay. First, what is the definition? So, what does a scope creep actually mean? So, scope creep refers to a project that has seen its original goals expand while it was in progress. As the term suggests, scope creep is a subtle process that starts with small adjustments and ends up resulting in projects that take far longer to complete or even fail before they are finished. Even if the project is completed, scope creep can result in final deliverables that look like nothing like what was originally envisioned. As per Wikipedia, scope creep, also called requirement creep or kitchen sink syndrome, in project management refers to changes, continuous or uncontrolled growth in a project scope at any point after the project begins. This can occur when the scope of a project is not properly defined, documented, or controlled. It is generally considered harmful. It is related to but distinct from feature creep. Scope creep may also be called creep of scope. In one of the author's early days in the information technology field in the 1980s, there was no agreed upon use of either the term scope or scope creep. Today, at least, we have some common definitions of both. Here is our working definition of both terms that we will use in this slideshow. Scope, the extent of what a project will produce, product scope, and the work needed to produce it, project scope. A guide to the project management body of knowledge. Fourth edition mentions it is the sum of the products, services, and results produced in a project. It is often documented using a scope statement and a work breakdown structure WBS, which are approved by the project sponsor. Scope creep. What is scope creep? According to their definition, scope creep is adding additional features or functions of a new product, requirements, or work that is not authorized. In other words, work that is like beyond the agreed upon scope. The PMBOK guide describes scope creep as adding features and functionality, project scope, without addressing the effects on time, costs, and resources, or without customer approval. So, what are the reasons for scope creep? They could be lack of clarity and depth to the original specification document. It could be allowing direct, unmanaged contact between client and team participants. Or they could also be customers trying to get extra work on the cheap. Beginning design and development of something before a thorough requirements analysis and cost benefit analysis has been done. Scope creep, where you do it yourself because of lack of foresight and planning. Poorly defined initial requirements. Management promises the sun and the moon and breaks the backs of the developers to give them just that in impossibly tight time frames. It is impossible to control scope creep, so always work on the highest priority features. How do we manage project scope? So changes to scope can be either uncontrolled, resulting in scope creep, or controlled, resulting in document changes to the project requirements. Managing scope creep then boils down to controlling those changes in scope via a change control process. This involves monitoring the project status in baseline scope, comparing actual work performance measurements with the baseline scope using variance analysis. How different is the current project from the original plan? Determining the cause and the degree of the changes found. Deciding on change requests, in other words, whether corrective or preventive action is needed. Managing all change requests and recommended actions, whether corrective or preventive actions, via the perform integrated change control process. If approved change requests affect the project's overall scope and cost baseline, then the scope statement, work breakdown structure, WBS, and or cost baseline is updated and sent out to stakeholders. So that's it, friends. Please do send your comments if you have any more queries. Thank you.